Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of... It's episode 6. I'm going to say it is. If it's not, well...
Sexy 6.
I have learned recently that I'm the dungeon master, and I get to do whatever I want. So it's episode 6 now. I don't care what the YouTube title says. I don't care how many episodes came before it. I'm fudging the numbers. I get to decide.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I know, I'm right anyway. God damn it.
Topical last week.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hello. It's been a little while since the last time we were in the dungeon. I have missed Yek very deeply, and the rest of you a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into that. I'm looking forward to seeing how this whole goblin situation resolves. But before that, how's everybody doing? Blue Jay, how's your face? Do you feel better than last time? Doing good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got filling to replace another filling that I had that was really old. And they put this weird plastic thing in my mouth. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I probably looked like one of those alien.
Yeah, which one was it? Was it the like weird rubbery one that they like put around your tooth and it's like a thing?
They put it around your tooth and it like catches all the like gunk that they're doing. Yeah. It was really weird, but I wanted to take a picture, but they were doing stuff at my face, so I couldn't. Yeah. So that happened. Yeah. I survived.
Good. Congratulations.
Filling. It's very, I don't know, filling. Uh-huh. And my mom came over and I bought a ton of plants.
So everybody, I feel like everybody I know, if my Instagram is anything to go by, everybody's buying plants. What's up with plants these days? Everybody's just like, I gotta buy plants.
It's the new thing for white women to do.
Oh.
To replace having a personal.
I understand. Good. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I have so many plants.
Empty void from the lack of children.
I hadn't caught up on that one.
Yeah, you're realizing that you're a childless spinster and you need plants instead. Okay, good.
I'm not allowed plants.
Why? Because you'll kill them? Are you a plant murderer?
I am.
I've kept succulents alive for a whole year, so now I can have any plants I want. Says me.
Good. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody in chat said I can't wait to see Elf's plant collection, but the thing is, you don't know this. Elf has a necrotic aura, and if you put a plant around Elf, she will drain it of its life force to empower herself.
Things around me wilt and die.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Yeah, I try to limit the amount of in-person time that Elf and I spend together because it ages me terribly.
You lose years of your life.
Yeah. I divide all of the photos of me into before I met Elf and after just to check. And I'm haggard now. I used to be beautiful.
I used to be beautiful.
Yeah. Speaking of Elf, can you give us an update on all that hot Neverwinter drama?
Oh shit!
Because I tuned in, I saw you were in a cave. You were talking to some guy in a cave, and I had no idea what was going on, but it was very entertaining.
That was our clandestine meeting between two wizards and me.
It's my favorite podcast, my wizard and me.
Yeah, my wizard and me. But that was just some like, we can talk privately. Let's talk privately about all the terrible shit that we're gonna do. Kellen's still trying to get the attention of the wolf god because she's the worst. I should have talked to a DM about that last week, but I didn't. So interesting. And then I didn't have a lot of Neverwinter drama to catch up on because I was away at LARP.
You have LARP drama instead.
Yeah,
the real LARP. Yeah.
And my spooky wild elven witch made a deal with the keeper of secrets there, who's like this, cleric of the god of secrets, basically. That was like, you have a cursed book and you want me to get rid of it. I need somebody's true name to be able to do that. Okay. And they're like, okay, but also I already have a way to get rid of it. So I don't need you to do this true name thing to get rid of it. I already figured it out. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, but you're the keeper of secrets. So if you just pretend you still need me to do it, I can get some idiot's true name and then use it for myself.
So this is the thing. I just imagine that like, this is what you're doing 100% of the time when you're not here playing games with me or you're on stream, where like other people like go to the mall or like, go to movies with their friends and stuff. And I just assume that you are submerged in this like terrifying fantasy universe. And I'm here for it. I really love it. It's great. It's like the gossip from another universe.
There's a lot of like strange gossip that happens in my life.
Yeah. Like you tell people that you live in Alberta, but really you live in like Narnia or some shit. Like I'm very into it.
Yeah.
I'm glad the internet connection is stable in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's wizards and stuff. Like, you got to know they got like heavy internet in Lantan, right?
Someone just drills a hole in the bottom of the wardrobe just to feed.
yeah. You know, I get to Narnia and the fucking Queen of Winter or whatever. It's not gonna be. She's gonna be, you want some Turkish delight? And I'd be like, nah. She's gonna be, you want reliable internet? I'll be like, yes, my lady. Let's kill Father Christmas.
I tell people I live in Edmonton because no one will check Edmonton.
Yeah, it's as made up. There's many Canadian cities like this that are as made up as Narnia, so it's fine. They're not real. Well, that's good. I'm glad that both your LARP. Now, I was going to ask you. I have one question about this. So, how long on average do you say you play the same character in a LARP, and is that true of it?
So, my current character that I'm playing at the moment, this like Wild Elven Witch, I've told you about a bunch of times.
Yeah. I feel like I know her as well as I know you.
Yeah, she's been around. Well, I hope not. But she's been around for like 3.5 years now. And she's been through like multiple costume changes and like all kinds of stuff. You know, like there's been a lot of character development on that. And you can keep a character as long as you want to. And she's only survived for as long as she has because I have people around me to take the bullets for me, basically.
And by bullets, do you mean like tennis balls while people shout lightning bolt, or is
not tennis balls, bags of birdseed?
Perfect. That's good too. Those are like bullets.
But yeah, so I've had ablative people armor for most of her existence. So even the bad stuff that she does, like I have goons to take. Based on everything to take the brunt of the damage for me.
I wish I had ablative people armor.
Based on everything that I know about you, Elf, it does not surprise me that you are having so much success playing this wicked edgelord.
What I will tell you is that our group is the most prolifically growing like wild elven group I have ever seen. We have like I have a picture. There's like 9 of us at this last game that are all like the same wild elven tribe. It looks so cool.
Have they made you their terrible war queen yet, or is that?
I mean, I am.
Okay, all right, it's not official, but like we all know. Okay, good.
We all know.
Good.
And like I'm getting more players coming out and playing those characters as well. And people who are like losing their character are like, oh, my next character. I was thinking I wanted to join your group, you know. And I'm like, yeah, come on in. Like, come be evil and like do witchcraft with me.
I love it. I love it. So for anybody worried that they're not accomplishing anything in real life, you can feel doubly bad because Elf has a successful real life and several very successccessful fantasy lives.
If you think my real life is successful, I think you're overstating.
I mean, you're still here and you still have a house.
Yeah, you're holding it together. That's
accurate.
That's all you can expect.
I'm only accomplishing things in reality, so you got me beat at the very least.
But yeah, it's cool. It's
good.
nice to see people wanting to play stuff.
And that I think that's absolutely the thing. It's one thing to enjoy it yourself, and it's a whole other kind of like magic to have your experience encourage other people to try a thing you know is fun.
And the reason I'm saying that is because like this Wild Elven tribe that we're playing, I sort of half wrote the whole thing.
Yes,
you know,
they're
like,
your people. You invented them.
And then like people are like, those guys are cool. I want to play them. I'm like, yes, do it. You know. Cool.
Well, I'm very proud of you. I continue to be impressed by your endeavors in fantasy land.
I still offer that you should come out to a LARP with me, Adam.
Yeah,
and hang out for a weekend.
It's true. I'm stuck here in the real world.
Nah.
Lauren, how's the real world treating you? I mean, I don't imagine that you've hired any armies of ablative elven goons lately, but you know, I don't mean to make you follow Elf and her rich fantasy
fine.
life.
Someone has to.
Yeah, someone's got to do it.
Honestly, this last week it's been pretty chill.
Nice.
Like not a whole lot going on because I finished my cosplay so early. So I've been like already planning Jules cosplay because that's what we're doing next.
Jewel and Macaria's cosplay.
I'm very excited. It's going to be ridiculous. I get to basically look like a character from Cats the musical.
That's pretty much.
So on board with this. I will record a musical number just for
I've always felt that was the case with that type of character in D&D. It's not like when people always make furry jokes. It's like no, it's not that. It's the cast of Cats. It's the Broadway. It's very much that. Yeah.
Except Jules, that awkward one in the back that doesn't actually want to be there, but like their parents force them into it. It's like prance, like
Lauren had the best idea for Macaria's glowing skull. That's so in character. You have to tell the universe, Lauren.
So they make that vodka that's like in the
Right.
glass skull.
Of course.
So we make that the glowing skull. We put a bunch of LEDs in it and like a green.
And then you have so much vodka.
And then
Yeah, you gotta do
take
something.
Everything
And-
Macario would
Fuck
want.
from your skull.
Right. I was gonna say I've learned that once you open a bottle of alcohol, you have to drink the whole thing or it goes bad.
In one
So
setting.
right. Yeah. Perfect. Good.
And she
Fantastic.
can just get really drunk.
I
You're-
just
The most
you're-
perfect cosplay prop
Mhm.
that could have happened.
Yep.
Macaria and Jewel are going to be in the same place. I'm like, I have to figure out when this is. Show up and like be the disdainful presence in the background.
Well, so I guess that means that Dave, we need to start working on an enormous robot costume for you, or
Get you access to a lot of musical instruments.
Oh, good. Yeah, that sounds cool.
though I
Not
did
just,
see.
not just an outfit, just actual replacement.
Yes, yeah. Actually,
Just
what we
turn
need to do is
Dave
just
into an
remove Dave's
actual
brain and
robot.
put it
We're
into a
gonna take
giant
your brain.
semi-organic robot man. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I mean, there
It
was
might
that,
take a little longer than our cosplays.
there was that.
So it'll be ready for PAX West 3022.
Perfect, good. There was that Karn cosplay at PAX Unplugged that was pretty damn
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That Karn
I
was
mean,
good.
people
so.
do it. I'm just saying, Dave. People do it,
Yeah.
and you could be people.
Dave doesn't want to be people.
I mean,
People
robot.
is exactly what Dave doesn't want to be.
I don't know. I mean, if Dave didn't want to be people, you might want to change your name there, Dave. Dave.
It was
Bagini.
ironic.
It's clear. Oh, I see. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I already. I think I have.
So yeah, it's been my week.
Yeah, nice. I'm excited. I love it. I love watching characters go from. It's the same as when we showed off the new art for the characters. It's so cool having an idea in your head of what a character looks like, and then having somebody else interpret that. Someone who has the ability to do like costumes or
Oh, here we go.
drawings or whatever. Yeah, that guy. It's just so neat to see it sort of come to life like that in whatever form. So it's very cool. So congratulations on having smart ideas and then the ability to carry them out.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
who's
hey,
talking."
Lauren.
Yeah. How are things in human country, Dave? How are you doing? I saw you were playing some Final Fantasy Tactics. Still enjoying
Sure
it?
was.
Are you frustrated by it
Yeah.
yet? Are you at the part where it's not fun anymore, or are you still digging it?
No, I like it because I found the bits that I really like.
Yeah.
Just going to the shop afterwards and seeing if they got any new souls.
Yeah.
It's fairly on brand, honestly. Yeah. I don't know why. Every time I try and start streaming, I'm like, I've got a good idea for a game. Like, it fits. It'll be perfect. And every time I forget, I pick a game that's 80 hours long. And I stream twice a week. So I've been playing it for like 5 months now.
Yep.
It's just a bit rough. But I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'd still really like to use that as basis for making a similar thing. Because there are games like it.
Yeah.
There aren't games that feel the same niche. I want Tactics of Us 3. That'd be sweet as hell.
It would be pretty sweet. Yeah. I wonder if that brand is like it's dead or not.
Yeah, like the last one came out, if I remember right, somewhere between no. Wait, what was it? It was on DS. So it came out between, well, like after 10, but before 12.
Yeah.
So they got so many more games and more jobs that they've cemented into the series as potential things. So many nice new quality
I
of life.
wonder
Procedural
what they would.
generation for a game like that could make
Yeah.
it last forever.
Well, and that's the thing. I wonder what they would have to change because if you put out a tactics style game now, it wouldn't be competing with like the games that it was competing with when it came out, right? And it wouldn't be like it would feel archaic. And I wonder what they would have to change to make it feel more like because the new thing is XCOM, right? XCOM 2 is the game that people would compare it to, but it's not necessarily a fair comparison, so they have to change the design, but not so much that it doesn't feel like that game anymore. I would buy a tactics game if they put it out. I'd buy it on sight unseen for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, how long has that been on my character sheet?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea, Dave. Dave has just discovered that I changed the field that said Juggernaut on their character sheet to Juggalo. And I'm really glad that you noticed that. Chat saw me do it, and no one told you, I guess. So,
How long ago was that?
That's rude.
I feel like it was only last episode, I think, but
The joke was only last episode.
yeah, so that would have been last week. Anyway,
No.
there you go. You're welcome. Surprise. I feel like I've done this to your character sheets before, Dave, when I've put in, like, what did I say, like too weird to die, I think, once for one of your characters.
To live, too weird to die.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah. No, we know that all the juggalos in Dungeons and Dragons have migrated to Ravnica, and that's where they live now. They have their own guild. It's fine.
We have a big war.
That's
Saying coming.
All right, let's get into this goblin business. Let's see. So here's where we're at. Here's what things look like in the here and now today. There are a lot of goblins around, like just a lot, many goblins. And you have recently learned that they are led by a beautiful human being named Yek. Yek the Tall. So tall and beautiful.
Human being.
Yeah, big, tall Yek, so handsome and beloved. And so Yek has ascended to his throne. Yek is attended by his many goblins, and I think that as we tune back in, it's just to the sounds of the goblins all shouting, Yek, 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 and Yek is quaffing an enormous goblet of wine as quickly as they can. And they finish and they throw it on the ground and everyone cheers and they let out a mighty belch. And we get reaction shots from the group of you, probably most likely Rin, because Rin is the nearest to this whole thing. And all of the goblins around you, Rin, are just like staring up at Yek, like Yek is Maglubiet's gift to goblindom. But Rin, can I get you to make an insight check, please?
Yes, of course.
I already know what Macaria's reaction to that is. She whispers under her breath, I could do that.
I think what you
Yes, probably.
asked-
Do you want to challenge Yek to a quaffing contest?
Oh my god, yes. Do I?
Okay. So Rin, I think that looking around, you just see all of these very excited, very like loyal goblin faces, just eyes, yellow eyes shining, filthy teeth bared in their weird goblin grins. And Macaria, when we see you, you have a look of disgust on your face.
Oh, yes.
All right.
She's standing by the wall, kind of like arms crossed, and she's just like watching as the like thrown goblet is rolling on the floor and just like.
Yeah, and so you look up and Yek is just laughing. He's like, I drank it all. Give me some more. I could drink it again. And the goblins are all cheering and clapping. And like, look at him drink.
Like a dog, then vomit.
Look at him. He can drink so much because his esophagus is so long and his stomach so enormous. And they're all just very excited about this glorious Yek. And he looks down at you, Rin, his new guest, to see, like, are you not entertained? What do you do? Or do you say anything or look at him? Like, he looks down at you.
Yes, very impressive. Well done.
Yes.
Yes. Like, looking around at all the goblins, it's like, okay, these guys are like fanatic heroes.
Yeah. And the goblin nearest to you, when he sees you clap, he nods and he says, "Yes, Yek is both tall and mighty, and can drink anyone under the table, if we had a table."
I would posit that that's not true. I have a friend that could drink more than anyone.
And I look at Rin like.
And in this corner, with a drinking problem of 12 years from the city of Waterdeep. So the goblin, when you say that, the goblin looks at you and says, "What? This cannot be true. No creature exists that can outdrink Yek. Look how handsome he is."
May I present Macario?
Like, oh God.
I'll drink him under the table, but you'll give us access to your treasure room for it. And I want the dwarf.
And so you walk up to Yek, you approach Yek.
Yeah.
And Yek folds his arms over his wine-sodden chest, and he says, "What? You think you can outdrink me, Yek the Tall, with my mighty pipes? I think not, little girl. I can outdrink anyone I've ever met."
And you're surrounded by goblins, so I still believe that I can outdrink you, yes.
He says, "Well, your esophagus is longer than a goblin's, but your mouth is much smaller. And if you beat me, you want access to my treasure room? You can't have all of my treasure. That's madness. It's my treasure. I got it myself. It's for me. But perhaps you could
dwarf.
pick a single object from my mighty hoard."
Mostly, I just want the dwarf.
He squints and he says, "What? You want the smelly Longbeard? Why would you want such a thing?"
Because his core. Because he's more useful than a goblin for my purposes.
Make a persuade check.
Because of his corpse. Okay. Persuasion. 12.
So Yek looks down at you and he says, "Well," and he looks down at the floor where he's thrown the severed beard of the dwarf, and he says, "Well, I'll give you one or the other. You may choose a treasure from my vault, or you may take the smelly Longbeard for your purposes. We're done with him. I have his beard now. See, it's right there on the floor. He has no beard."
Sure. And I say to Rin, like, once he's drunk enough, we can convince him to let us in anyway.
Rin just gives you the shrug emoji.
So where is this?
It's like the lean over, like, it's your show now.
So where is this alcohol that you wish us to consume? How
Yek.
disgusting is it?
Yek says, he says, "We have many kinds of alcohols. We have the red kind and the other kind that is not so red. I got them from some barrels. Go and fetch me the alcohol, goblin." And he just points to a random goblin, and they're just like, "Ah, yes, mighty Yek, I will use my tiny legs to fetch it for you." And they run off into the crowd. And Yek, he looks at you and he says, "So, have you been drinking things a long time? Are you a practiced imbiber? Hmm?" Just eyeball him, and he's like,
Yeah.
But it is of no matter. In drinking, I have learned that only one thing matters, and that is the power of your will. And I have a great will. It's very tall, like me. Enormous, really. I'm very willful."
Mm-hmm.
How tall is Yek? Like, on a scale of, like, human tallness? Like,
He's
is he, like 5'8"?
Yeah, he's like 5'9".
I feel like when this conversation
He's like so
going on-
tall.
Yeah, I was like,
Thank you.
you really think you're so tall? Have you met like, just introducing members of the party who
Right.
are bigger at him than stuff?
So a goblin comes running back, carrying. Yeah, right. He's taller than me. So what do I have to say? Some goblins come back with barrels. One of them is holding some wooden contraption. It's several pieces of wood, nailed together, and he sets it on the floor. And the goblin says, "I have made a table." And he gestures at it. And everyone kind of is like, "Yeah, good job, you did it. We didn't have one of those before." And so he sets a table down right here. Table. It's just like some wood hammered together with a flat part on top. And another goblin brings out some kegs of wine. Someone retrieves Yek's goblet from the floor and fills two goblets with
All
wine.
right.
And Yek strides down from his throne and approaches you at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, he picks up his goblet.
Wait.
And he looks at you. And he
What are
says-
the rules for when we will determine one has been drunk under the table?
And he says, "The first person who's under the table and can drink no more is the loser, and it will be you, not me."
No vomiting allowed.
And the goblins all look at each other like they've never heard that. They never thought of that. Like, why would you ever want someone not to barf? And he says, "Very well, we'll play by your rules. And if I
Because barfing
win,"
means you get to drink more.
he says, "if I win," and he looks around and he sees 8. And he says, "If I win, Your metal man belongs to me.
Is 8 like, where is 8?
It's like all the way over here.
8's like real
Yeah.
far away.
I've wandered a little bit closer.
Okay.
And
Sure.
I hear my name, and I like point to myself. What?
Are you sure? You would no longer be the tallest.
Oh, no, that's not how it works. You see, if I own your friend, then by the transitive property, I'm still the tallest. That's how it works. Trust me.
Or you could just sit on his shoulders.
Even better, a palanquin for my butt to sit upon, and they can carry me about. A glorious steed.
Sure, whatever.
I'll take it.
Sure, whatever.
Macario does not for a second believe that she won't outdrink this guy. Anyway, let's roll really low on this con save.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, drinking contest. We'll make a skill check out of it. So we'll do like, I'm going to make a note here. We'll go
Okay.
and Macaria.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can I play? I want to see if I can drink. I want to see if I can get drunk. No, I won't. It's your thing.
You don't
right.
even have a mouth.
Yeah, I guess.
so 8 is just pouring wine on their face.
You can't participate in a drinking contest
8 gone wild.
if you don't have a mouth.
So
Last time I was in a tavern, I just took it and just on my own face.
yeah. 8 takes the whole can, beer and all, crushes it against their head, beer everywhere, and throws the can aside. And the can probably kills someone. So okay. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll take rounds.
Okay.
And I guess it's probably just whoever fails first is the one that gets like too drunk to carry on. Maybe we give you like a number of X's and O's. Maybe you need to fail 3 times. Whoever fails like they fail 3 times total.
I posit that because it has been a key staple of her roleplay throughout this entire thing, that Macario gets some kind of advantage. She's been a drunk literally.
All right, you're a total waste. So I'll give you a reroll on it. So it's kind of like death saves, but for getting wasted.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's
you
the
get a
like,
reroll.
failure? Do I have
on
to get
this.
above or below 10?
Yeah, and I
Is
think
it because it can't be versus if it's failing.
no, because a drinking contest isn't versus, right? You're not actually. It's just you against your own ability to carry
Constitution.
on.
Yeah.
So yeah, like death saves basically.
Okay.
It could also
But I
like,
mean, it's a Constitution save,
low and
right?
like every drink adds 5 to the first one's 5. And
Oh
then,
yeah. That makes sense.
or however much.
That
you
makes
wanna
sense
add
too.
5.
Yeah.
The first one you'd have to beat 5, and then the second one you'd have to beat 10, and then the third
I mean,
one.
that'll
you'd
get
have
out
to
of control real fast.
Yeah,
You'll both start to fail very quickly, but it'll be the
I mean,
first
maybe
to
just
fail 3. Okay.
2 each time.
Let's
or-
do it by we'll do it by 2. All right, we're designing new rules as we go. Okay, so here's
Drinking
how.
game.
We have created drinking game.
Okay, so each round it's a con save.
Alternatively, Adam and Blue Jay could just design all this.
All right, each round is a con save.
I can't drink that much.
Oh.
I'm on antidepressants.
You're right.
Okay, so each round is a con save. The DC starts at 8,
Okay.
and then it's +2 for each save. And then first person to fail 3 times loses. Okay. All
Wow.
right.
I can't believe the role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons can do anything.
That's right.
Okay, so what's my
Any kind.
advantage?
So the
I
first
get one
so the
reroll?
first person to succeed 3 times in a row becomes King of the 7 Kingdoms. All right. So let's do it. I have a feeling that you have a distinct advantage on this just because you're a player character and you have a constitution score. But what's your modifier for your con?
+3.
What is your con? Like your best skill?
It's my second best. Yeah.
Wow.
Remember,
so
2
you actually
15s and 4 8s.
right, you actually are really good at drinking. Okay.
Yeah.
good.
My constitution was 15 and my wisdom was 15, and then I added 1 to make it 16, so I got a +3, and then my wisdom
Okay.
I've added more to because it's my casting stat.
All right. Good.
Everything else is -1.
Fantastic. So this is actually something you're very good at.
Yes,
All
I
right.
built my character to
Here
be
we
awful
go.
at everything except for this.
So make your first roll.
It's a
the DC
Constitution save.
Constitution saving throw
Okay.
with a DC of 8.
Can I do it? 21.
Nice. All right, I got a
Damn.
20. So that's the first round. Yek and Macario both get they get a pass. They get a circle. Okay.
Okay.
So the first
was
one.
DC 8.
So Yek, he holds up and you have to alternate toasts. Obviously, this has to be a different. So he holds up. He holds up his goblet and he says, "To new friends and the treasures they bring us." And he drinks the whole thing and slams it down. More, Goblin. So on the second one, Macario, you have to make a toast. What are you gonna say?
Macaria holds up the goblet and says, "To not killing you all immediately."
Good. Vaguely threatening. All right, so this is a DC.
Vaguely threatening toast.
It claps very loud.
Yeah. All right, DC 10 on this one.
Okay. I got a 15.
All right, I got a 12. So they both
All right.
drink.
So I have a very important question. How
Yes.
distracted do all the goblins seem right now?
Like as distracted as they always are, but yeah, which is to say quite.
Like, how likely would it be that I could maybe sneak up behind him? Do it. Fucking do it.
You could definitely make a stealth check to do that. Yeah.
Fucking
I
do
would
it.
like to make a stealth
Okay,
check
yeah,
to
go ahead.
sneak up behind him. Either that or do the goblin guards look distracted at all?
They are. Yeah.
Oh no.
They distracted enough that I could sort of Assassin's Creed it, just stab them in the back.
No, they definitely will notice if someone is killed. Yeah.
No, that's a shame.
Yeah. More.
Okay, so the ones guarding the room seem like they're not paying attention.
The ones they haven't left their post, but they're watching. They're watching Yek.
I'm real good at climbing too.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. What is your toast, Macario? It sounds like Jewel is weighing her.
No,
options.
it's Yek's turn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Yek takes another goblet from his assistant, and he says, "To goblins, who are and will always be the best in caves," and he drinks the whole thing up.
Throw the javelin in.
Somewhere, a kobold is very upset.
Okay.
All right. Ooh,
All
gets a
right.
16. All right, so this one was the DC
Ooh.
12.
Well, I got a 14, so I still
Close.
pass.
Okay. All right.
I just need some help making a decision. Jules gets behind
Okay.
him.
All right. It's going to be Macario's turn. Jill, would you like to do something? Are you doing something else?
She's sneaking around behind him.
Okay.
I'm literally just watching all of this unfold, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Macaria is like, again, fine. To ripping
Well,
flesh. It.
Before you roll, can I give her bardic inspiration?
You can, but it would be cheating.
Okay, never mind.
So if you want to help Macario,
Could she
cheat-
try and do a deception check so that they just thought she was playing music or whatever?
No, I think bardic inspiration has to be particularly inspiring. Like you have to. I think it would be clear. Yeah.
Never mind. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So Jewel just disappears into the shadows behind the throne. Okay. All right. So please,
Okay.
Macario, go ahead.
I don't toast well. To whatever this is, then drinks it.
Good. Okay. All
So
right.
this one is a DC 14.
This one is DC 14. Yep.
I'm
Yek drinks it up with a plum.
just gonna try for it because I have a reroll. Ooh, 4. I
Ooh,
fucking
alright.
knew it. I'm
So this
using my
one-
reroll.
You get like a mouthful of wine, and it's bad wine too. So you get that mouthful, and you kind of burp, and you're like, oh, okay, I gotta like get it down. You gotta focus. You just drink it, so you're gonna use your reroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
You choke down the terrible wine.
Okay.
Okay, so now we
I
are.
feel like
on-
if we do first of 3 fails, that's gonna be a lot. This is already
no,
a
this
lot.
escalates very quickly, right? Like
Oh,
it's
true,
it's
that's
16
true.
now. It'll just be like fail, fail, fail. It gets worse as we go.
Yeah, if you
Right.
get it above 20, he can't win.
That's true.
He still can.
Yeah, I mean, I think a crit counts as like a success anyway in this case because, you know,
It usually does.
I want it to be a contest. So okay, all right. So Yek wobbles slightly and he says, "One of the great problems with being as tall as I am is you've got so far to fall to the floor.
Yes,
I have
that
found
would
that
a
to be the
problem for
case.
you.
But I have strong knees. 2 knees," and he takes a drink.
Fuck. So this is 16?
This one is
Sneaks up
16.
all the way behind him.
Ha yeah.
Come
Drinking.
on, boy, dice.
Whoa.
Fuck.
All right. So what is the look like, Macario? You take this drink. You're on your 5th, and it's.
I feel like she's kind of getting bored of this.
Mhm.
And she's just like, this is really, really bad wine.
It's pretty bad. It's
Like
probably not the
she's
worst wine
used-
you've ever drunk.
She's used to bad wine, but this is a lot of it very quickly. So she's probably just like, ugh, I've fallen this far. I'm doing a drinking contest with this fucking idiot.
Dave, you see behind you a goblin getting ready to fit you with a restraining bolt.
All right, so this is 18
I
then?
believe, yes, I believe it is your turn to toast, Macario.
Ugh, God, what does she want to toast to? I don't want to toast. That's just
Toast Merkle.
I would say you haven't toasted Merkel
right.
yet. The Lord
Yeah.
of Bones awaits. He's like,
okay. Yeah,
we're
so
five,
she
we're
lets out
5
a
drinks
very,
in, honey. Where's
lets
my
out a-
toast?
She lets out a very loud belch and feels better.
Yep.
Um,
The goblins near you give you some polite like golf clapping, like, ooh, very nice,
Nice.
nice, good.
And then she says
7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
to the mighty Lord of Bones, whose service I have pledged, and she's like kind of slurring her words now. I have pledged my whole life to, and the beautiful dwarf zombie I will soon be making for his service.
And Yek holds up his wine and he says, "I have no idea what you're talking about, but that sounds fantastic. Cheers." And like just a little too hard, like hits the cups together and gives it a go. All right. So
I'm
this
going to
is
use my
DC
inspiration for this roll.
Okay, and this one is DC 18 now?
18, yeah.
Oof. All right, here we go. The beginning of the end. Oh, close for both of you.
God, no.
All right, so Yek, both of you wobble a little bit. Yek looks like he might yek, but he does not. Jewel, you have something you would like to be ready to
Jewel
do?
wants to steal the circlet off his head.
Okay, you want to just take it off his head right now?
I mean,
This is the time
Okay,
because
alright.
I haven't lost yet.
they're real drunk.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration for this. Jewel's just like, I can't. I've tried so hard. I'm drunk. I can't do. And she like looks apologetically at Rin, like, I'm sorry.
Ren can't see you. You're
You're
No.
invisible.
I mean, Rin doesn't know, but she thinks it.
we get audience visibility on you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yep. So
Okay.
you reach forward with advantage. 'cause
22,
you're hidden.
23.
Okay, 23. All right, so let me roll a perception check here.
Curiosity killed the cat and also all of the party members.
Yek got a 17, so close, but not quite. So here's what happens. You reach forward and you snatch the circlet from his head, and Yek lets out a bellow. He's like, "What?" And he reaches up and he like touches his head. He realizes it's gone, and he's like, "No, ah!" And he starts to shrink and become wizened and horrible. Until Yek the Tall is not so tall anymore. Yek has been reduced down to a solid like 3 feet. He is a gray-skinned, pointy-eared, gnarly-haired looking little goblin man, and his clothes fit again now that he's goblin-sized. And he's just like, "No, how dare you!" He's also very bloated from all the drinking. He's
I
like
was
very
gonna say,
round.
like,
Yeah, he's got like his little belly sticking out, and one of the goblins in the back, you can't see him, but one of the goblins is like, "Yek's not tall anymore, get him!" And then all the other goblins are like, "Yeah!" And they all take out knives
yeah.
and they rush Yek for the crime of being short.
Hell yeah. Bonus action. dash away.
Yeah, you can just slip out of there, and Yek just gets like mobbed by goblins, and there's just screaming, and he's like, "No, I was so tall," and they just stabbing, just so much stabbing.
Oh my
Jules
god.
plans to immediately dash to the treasure room.
He's just like, "Oh God, why? You used to love me." And then
Macario is laughing.
Actually,
Is this the treasure room over here?
yeah, over there.
he's
This
gonna
goblin
hand
has
the circlet to Rin.
I was gonna say, as the god like is trying to work out what it is, I'd probably just like stab him in the back of the head as Jewel just like.
Yeah, I
runs
don't.
over.
I think they all rush in to Julius Caesar. This dude.
Yeah, I just,
But
Wait, did you say
Macaria.
you hand me the circlet?
Yeah,
Macario,
Sad.
when you turn around, there's a goblin nearby who didn't run in to like join in the massacre.
Uh-huh.
And this goblin is just looking up at you, and his eyes are very, very wide, and he's like, "Excuse me,
What?
I didn't notice before, but you're very tall."
If you touch me, I will kill you.
And he's just like, "Yes, of course," and he like bows before you.
God.
So is everybody gonna go into the treasure room?
I mean, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm really drunk and very
Just kinda, like,
distracted by this
wobbling a little.
murder. I'm watching the murder.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I just got handed the circlet, and I'm tempted to just
yeah.
like.
Jules like, I'm going to get treasure, but like you don't see her because she's slipping through. She just shoves this circlet in your hand. She's like, I think you might need this.
Palms it to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm already wearing a circlet, so
Yeah, you can't throw it on top. Can't nest
The
them on top of each other. 8, if you want to, you can go up to the door. Let me check and see if that door is locked or just guarded. Let's see here. Level 2. This is area 1. Good. Okay. Let's see. Goblin vendors 1F.
I just want to see if I would have passed the 20.
No, the door is not even locked. You can
Oh,
just...
no, I would have been toast. All right, cool.
I mean, the question is, do you just take that last drink anyway? Because it's just sitting there.
I mean, probably.
Cool. All right. So you're drunk now. So you have the poisoned condition
Yeah.
until you get a chance to like rest it off.
Cool.
You take that last drink and you're like, oh boy, and the room spins a little bit. And we hear the kind of like the giggling of murder goblins as they're like killing their leader. You hear Yek's dying screams.
Oh, it's
And
so wonderful.
Everything's like a little bit wobbly. You thought there were like 20 goblins. Now there's 40 of them, and they're floating
there's
around.
a lot.
So 8, you are standing by the door. You want to pop it open?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get in.
All right. So yeah, you just yank it open. There's no one guarding it. There isn't a large chamber beyond, which as you stride in, you see the following treasure. You see a gruesome diorama featuring the stuffed corpse of a beholder and 6 goblins, all of them in battle poses and adorned with jewelry. So they have taken a dead beholder and stuffed it, and they've taken a bunch of dead goblins and stuffed them and laid them out in this like awful battle diorama of them fighting.
Macario would want that.
Yeah, you see an ivory chessboard, a beautifully crafted ivory chessboard on a low stone table. You see a hefty iron-banded wooden chest with iron rings for handles, and then finally. And this is the pièce de fucking résistance. Up at the far end of the chamber, on the wall, there is a 9-foot-tall, 3-foot-wide framed oil painting of Yek, depicting him in his regal form, standing proudly with his golden circlet on his brow. He is sitting on a throne of obsequious-looking goblins, and he is holding a goblet of wine in his hand. It is a masterwork, which means that it could not have possibly been made by goblins. It's like a straight up like Renaissance painting from a museum, but of Yek. Yeah. Yeah, he looks like Napoleon. He's got the big like fur like thing and just the crown. He's like, ha, ha, ha. And he's sitting on a pile of goblins who are just like, and like big shiny eyes. And yeah.
I don't think I can carry that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to roll it up, cut it out of the frame.
Oh, okay. Jewel goes and does that right away. I think we
Yeah,
can do this in Macario's room.
Yeah, I'm just picking up the goblins from the diorama and just shoving them in the bag. Just like,
Wait, you're taking?
goblins.
Oh my god.
Stuffed goblins. Okay, sure. Yeah, that
I
sounds
think you
fun.
might like it. Yeah, I think that was a good call. You might enjoy it.
It's think of it
Are
as
are you doing anything with that corpse? Any of you? Pieces of shit. I'm talking to the goblins.
The goblins are all reverted into feral, like goblin murder party mode. You look over and you see one of them smearing blood all over their face and just being like, "Wah!" And like they're basically all just like screaming and like tearing pieces off of Yek. One of them is peeing on his throne.
No, stop! Don't ruin my corpse.
Yeah, so they're all like screaming and shrieking, and other goblins are coming to see what's going on in the room, and they see that Yek has been dethroned.
Okay, but is his corpse still?
Oh no, he's just ripped into 100,000 tiny pieces.
I want to yell as loud as I can. I won the drinking contest. I get a dwarf.
So you say that, and a goblin near you looks up, and he's like holding Yek's arm, and he says to you in common, he's like, "Yek is dead. Anarchy rules!" And he like hits you with the arm, not hard, but just like blam, and just like hits you. Yeah, you want to kill him?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you kill him?
He hit me with the arm.
He just takes like a weak swing at you and just like slaps you in the leg.
I'm wondering if we should probably try and do something with it to figure out this mess of goblins.
I cast inflict wounds on him. A 19. Is that a hit?
It is, yeah.
He takes 10 necrotic damage. Is he super dead?
Yes. Oh yeah, this goblin necrotizes instantly, just like all the moisture being sapped from his body shrivels up, his flesh melts from his bones, and he crumples to a pile of wet viscera on the floor.
I said, where's my dwarf?
The goblin in front of you, like past the corpse, staring at you. And they're on the like threshold between totally freaking out and murdering all of you and not doing that. So what do you do? Rin, you and Macario both are witnessing this. Just shouting demands isn't going to do it, but what are you going to do?
I mean, my thoughts as a player, and obviously not Macario, is not thinking she just wants a cool corpse. But like just giving them a thing that they have to do.
Oh no, they have a thing they want to do. It's not like they're aimless. Like
okay.
They're about to go into like a frenzy and just like start attacking you or each other or whatever, overturning this fragile society that they built down here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you somehow convince them not to.
Time for a persuasion check. Here we go. This is my shit.
Okay.
While they are like scrabbling and whatever, I walk up to where the throne is. While all this is going on.
Yeah.
If I can.
Yeah, you can push your way through as they're all like snarling with each other and like it's
sorry, I would have had disadvantage on it.
It's okay. Don't worry about it for now, but for the next one you will. Yeah.
Walk up to the throne, and from the like raised dais of this throne, I'm just gonna I'm gonna do some like bardic stagecraft, like strike my violin once loudly and screech it to try and get people to be listening. And then just be like, Yek is dead, but there are others who are equally as tall. And hold the circlet like Yek's circlet like in my hand above my head.
So one of the other goblins, the goblin that was like closest to Yek, looks up, and this goblin is no longer covered is not covered in blood. This goblin did not participate in the murdering. And this goblin looks up at you, and you can see the glint of like opportunity in their eyes, and they say to the crowd, now that you have their attention, they say to the crowd, they're like, We have listened to the stories of tallness for too long. It is time for a new regime, a regime of shortness. The shortest among us shall rule. And who is shorter than I? And he whips off his cloak, and he's just like basically naked underneath. He's got a little loincloth on, and he's standing on foot tall like sandals, and he kicks them off. And now he's like tiny. He just like comes up to your knee, and he's like, "No more the tallness of the past." So let's do like an opposed persuade check.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Well, I have some inspiration, so I'm gonna burn it. And then,
Okay.
Is this? Would you call this persuasion or performance, Adam?
I mean, it's persuasion. You're trying to persuade a group. I mean, it's a duel of wits using oratory, but what it really is just it's just persuade.
Oh God.
Okay, so I'm gonna give this little guy.
So badly.
I'm gonna give this little guy advantage because he's a goblin.
You have a +9, and you got a
I
12.
know.
For those of you who are listening, that's a 12. That's a 12 on that roll. It was an 11 and a 12. Okay, so charisma roll. Got a -1. Here you go. Come on, Plork the Small. Plork gets a 19.
What
So,
the shit?
The crowd
He
begins.
crit.
The crowd begins to chant, "Small, small, small!" And the goblin, looking at you, Macaria, that was before was like, "Oh, you're so tall." Suddenly, he's like, "Oh, you're so tall!" And he draws an axe, and he says, "It is the word of Plork. You must be made small." And he like goes to swing it at your legs.
Fucking try me, dork.
So let's roll initiative, I guess, because the goblins, Plork.
I can't believe you got 12.
Plork has convinced these goblins that it is good to be small. Tall legs bad, small legs good.
Good. I'm
so
glad
Torque,
that this is what's happening right
Plork is now made a goblin boss by his very nature. So let me find him and throw him in here. There you go. There's Plork, mighty Plork the Small, and let's get a little initiative going.
now. Oh my god. Oh, sorry, I forgot to select myself.
It's okay. And remember, you have disadvantage. Because you're drunk.
Well, then I'll roll again
Yeah, just roll again.
at disadvantage.
Okay, so you got a 3. All right. Let's roll for regular goblins. Goblin boss. Wow, good rolls for me too. I got a 3 and a 4. Fantastic. So Jewel 8, Macaria. Rin, did you roll initiative yet?
Sorry, I've been trying to deal with a link situation.
No, it's okay.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Initiative. There we go.
Okay, good. I kind of like the idea that every time you kill the goblin boss, I just make a different goblin into the goblin boss because it just transfers and the stats come with the authority. Okay, Jewel, you see that this mob has gone bad.
I mean, you hear more like.
Yeah, the screaming of bloodlust has turned into screaming of bloodlust. It's just aimed at tall people now, of which you are one. What are you gonna do?
Jill kind of like looks at 8 and like she finishes rolling up the portrait of Yek and like shoving it in the bag of holding. She draws her short sword and she's like, well, this was probably inevitable.
Yeah.
Murder time. All right. So she starts first by just, let's see what's there. So first move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
6. She sees many goblins around her friends.
Yeah.
And she's gonna go first to that one. She can sneak attack, so bonus action dash and then stab. I should be able to get up to her. 1. I can move diagonally. 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
She moves kitty corner. See you.
Kitty
drunk,
corner.
Drunk Macaria. Short sword drawn.
Okay. All right. Good.
And hopefully 12.
Ooh, you miss. You take a swing at the goblin, and
Also, I shouldn't have blessed. That was sorry.
yeah, and the goblin turns, hears you coming, and moves out of the way as you stab the empty air.
I think the reason you miss is because when you're running up, Macario like drunkenly is like,
what's up?
"There's one behind you," and you like turn around. and
Yeah,
then she's
Macario blows.
Kitty.
She drunkenly blows your ambush. Good. I like it. Okay.
Perfect. Well, that's my turn.
Okay, perfect. 8. You hear the sound of battle being joined.
Right. I know I'm kind of far away, so the weapon I draw is my blow first as I'm moving in.
Okay.
5, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay.
And just this one, I guess. Just a random one in Macario.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, that's Rin up there, isn't it?
Yeah, Rin's up here. Yeah, the Macario, you
I
can tell
have
she's
the
got
drunk on.
the drinky bottle on her
You
inventory.
can see Ren reaching into her pocket for the invisible dust, however.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just shoot that back friend.
Okay. Poing.
Poing.
Yeah, you hit.
Wow. Good job. I didn't even kill him. All right, I'll do it again.
Now, can you with a longbow, right? Longbow, you can do multiple attacks.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's not a crossbow.
It's a crossbow.
It's the heavy crossbow.
Hmm?
Bane of my goddamn existence. You miss.
That's incredible.
Okay, so you fire and you hit the first one. The second one you miss, and it scatters off the steps.
Uh-huh.
You good? That's your turn.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, all right. Rin, you're convincing the crowd of goblins has not worked. What are you gonna do?
I'm assuming I can't attempt to convince them again.
No, that ship has sailed.
Right. What about oh, here's one, Adam. What about deception to ruin our short friend's credibility? Like, if he's so short and Yek was so tall and Yek became small when he like lost things, it's all fake anyway. Everything is fake.
I think that they've surrendered to bloodlust.
It's clear to you from this vantage point that goblin logic makes no kind of sense at all. They're like adventure game designers from the 90s. Nothing they think makes any sense to anyone but them. So the best thing to do now is either make yourself scarce or help your friends win this fight, or at least push the fight to a point where they give up.
I just want to see if there's a way I could make it work. But if there isn't, cool. I cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, good, perfect.
Because I have 13 AC and I'm behind a lot of goblins.
You just Frodo that shit, away you go.
I just up into the air, dust over me, invisible.
Okay, good. You vanish. Do you want to move? And invisibility lasts like an hour, right?
You're muted, Elf.
Yeah, you're muted.
It's a long time. I can check.
Yeah, it's an hour, I think.
So I back up into the corner, so I'm not getting,
Okay.
stepped on, and then that's my turn.
Good. Okay. All right. So, thrown into a horrific bloodlust, a need to kill all that which is tall, the assembled goblins draw bows and swords. They cast off the trappings of civilization, such as their top hats and monocles, and revert to a feral state in which the only enemy is the tall enemy, and they prepare their assault. Now, it's going to take me a hot minute to do their turn, so why don't we take our break here, and we'll come back, and I will swarm you with goblins. So
That's all I ever wanted.
So stick around, everybody. We will be right back with more.